Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. Today I'm going to be doing some T6 Gamma testing with the Ishtar again. I've been doing this quite a few times before, but I feel like there is definitely more testing that needs to be done, and there is for particular reasons as well. The T6 Gammas, they're actually quite special in some ways. Now I don't know if they're going to patch this soon or something, but I was looking at Abyssal Loot Tracker, and you can look at it like this. In this website, Abyss NT, you can search runs here. Now what you can do is, you can then just compare here, look here, because the thing is, this is something I didn't realize until a guy called Gustav Manfred pointed this out. But basically, it seems like that the type of exotics, they tend to actually give less ISK than the gammas. Like the exotics, or more or less that the exotics give a lot less than all the other types. So gammas will give more. So I've done actually an averaging on all tiers, but I've seen that you can even just see by looking at these numbers, but I have done an average on 100 of these runs reported by players, that the Cruiser Abyss for T6 Gammas on average gives 149 million ISK. Like if you average all of these 100 latest runs right here, if you average it, then it'll be about 149 million ISK per run. And if you average these exotic ones, you can already just see they look less, the numbers look less. You get on average 98 million ISK. Now, there could be some reasons that could cause this. Maybe the people who are running gammas go for the extraction nodes more, but I don't think so, because gammas are going to take a longer time than exotics. So if anything, the people running the exotics are going to go for the extraction nodes more, because the gammas increase HP of the NPCs. You're going to have less time to go for the nodes. So that already says one thing there. And just from anecdotal experience as well, when I do the gamma sites, because I have actually been trying these out in the T6 Gila I use for exotics, I've tried to use it for gammas actually, and it has gone quite successfully. I have noticed that the ISK has been quite a bit better, actually consistently over 100 million ISK right here. Just look at these numbers. Rarely these people are getting below 100 million ISK right here, but then you look here, and many times people are getting below 100 million ISK right here. Look at this. Look at this. They're all getting less than, very many are getting less than 100 million ISK. In fact, I would say there's even more runs that are less than 100 million ISK than over 100 million ISK. But here, they're almost all over 100 million ISK. So it really shows that there is something going on with the loot table right here. I think it either has something to do with the 0-point condensate price going down, because I think you get that from exotics, and also that they give the exotics, they give less of this Triglavian survey data, something like that. But the point is, I've been quite interested in doing the gammas because the Abyss loot seems to be a lot better in the gammas. Okay, so then what have I been then thinking about with this Ishtar then? Because before I've actually used an Ishtar fit that I've made for T6 Firestorm and T6 Gammas, and I don't really like the Firestorm that much. I mean, you can run them, I've done some successful runs in them, but if you take a wrecking shot, you can have some problems with the buffer. I mean, you won't die, but you'll come in to armor, and that's not a good feeling. And also time is pretty brutal there as well. It'll be a lot more relaxing if you do a gamma, because then there will not be a reduction in thermal resist, which is very important for Abyss. Concord and Triglavians do a lot of thermal damage. They do explosive damage as well, but not to as big degree. But most of all, in gammas we will have a very big buffer, and this will enable us to survive wrecking shots a lot easier. So before, what I did was I used this Ishtar here, V2 whatever, and I was using a Kalari Navy diagnostic system right here. This is actually quite good because it gives you a slight buff to your EHP, and I was using a field extender here because it also gives, you know, more EHP in your shield. So you got 9k HP here in the Gamma Ray Afterglow 3, which is minus 70%. And the thing is here is that this is 9.63k HP. If we go on the Kerberos Tyrannos in the T6, because this is the main person which you want to worry about wrecking shots, because this I think is the one that can land the biggest volley, because at least in my Gila, this is the only one that can almost one-shot the Gila's shields. So you can think of it like this. Here's a damage modifier of 30, and then you have the damage here is 100 damage, so 25 across the board right here. So 3,000 damage. Then you have to also factor in that wrecking shots, they have a 3 times damage multiplier. So essentially, Kerberos Tyrannos will be doing 9k Omni damage in the T6 sites. So this is Drifter Command Battleship. This is what you see in T6 sites. So you can see here, we come still very close here with the 9k, I mean 9.63k EHP. It's not going to be one-shotted, but almost one-shotted. And if we have just a tiny bit less than 100% shields, we will get one-shotted. But here I made some slight improvements that I think actually will serve us a bit better. The only downside is that our capacitor is a tiny bit worse, but I don't think that'll be too much of a problem because this ship right here has quite a good tank. In fact, a really good tank, almost 1k HP per second when you put the high-grade crystal implants. It only has 600 here, but when you put high-grade crystal implants, some cheap boosters, you'll have 1k HP per second. So the tank per second is so good that even if you had capacitor problems, you can just pulse this a little bit and you'll still be fine. Because you can see here, 21 gigajoules per second in the old one is 14 gigajoules per second. But we have 10.4k HP here. So that is pretty damn good right here. So we'll have a slight bigger margin to survive those wrecking shots. And also it feels nice that we're using up a lot more of these fitting rooms right here. Like you can see, it's very, very close to 100%. And I think that looks nice. Here we've got power grid to spare. But basically what I did was I put an EM rig right here because the Ishtar has a bit of an EM hole in its shield, so putting that there enables us to get quite a big buffer increase. I removed that diagnostic system and put a flux coil. Flux coils give a lot more capacitor per second than a diagnostic system right here. So that's what I've changed. I put a capacitor flux coil instead of a diagnostic system, and instead of a capacitor control circuit, I put an EM reinforcer. So it's some nice HP we've got going on right here. Now, what do I want to test with this? Because this I know will tank good. I know that this is tanks fine. There's no issue with the tanks right here. However, my biggest worry for the T6 Gammas compared to exotics is the time. That's one thing that I love about the T6 exotics because they're very easy when it comes to time. Using a Gila, you have bonuses to everything. Bonuses to your kinetic missiles. Vespers do also quite a lot amount of damage. Along with the exotic sites not bonusing any shields like the way the NPCs in the Gamma sites will have bonus shields. In the exotics, you don't have that issue. So I have very rarely, in fact, never really, if I'm paying attention, problems with time in the exotics. However, I have had the thing where I can have problems with time in the Gammas. It's just overall a lot longer experience. And specifically, the room that I have problems with is the Ephialtes room, the Ephialtes Lancer, the sleeper cruiser room. And they are a pretty slow room because they have quite a bit of HP if you count them all in total. I did some basic math, and you have to grind through about 50 to 60k HP in an Ephialtes room. So that'll take quite a bit of time to get through. And if you think of it, we're doing damage all the time with 900 DPS. The Ephialtes, we're doing damage all the time. If we were to do 900 DPS, it wouldn't take that long. It would take maybe about 2 minutes if you were to have perfect damage application all the time. The thing is, that's obviously not going to be the case. Half of the time we're going to be missing with these turrets right here. Half of the time maybe our drones will be missing, or that the drones will have to travel between targets. So that'll take a bit of time. And I've been using previously augmented ogres. I thought augmented ogres were pretty good for it because they have very high damage. And the Ephialtes, actually, if we go here, Ephialtes Lancer, Evil Line Reference, you see they have very low resistance. So actually, if we were to use something like a explosive drone, then the explosive drones do less damage than the ogres. So I was thinking to myself, okay, these explosive drones, they're a lot worse because they do a lot less damage than the hammerheads drones. But the thing is, the hammerheads are quite a bit slower. They have worse tracking. So in some ways, the explosive drones are not that much slower than the hammerheads. In fact, I don't even think they are. And that's why it led to me to thinking that, okay, if we focus very hard trying to use the geckos to take out these Ephialtes guys, then perhaps we will be able to do this, because resist types does not matter here. It doesn't matter if we're using any particular resist type or damage type, because the resists are so low, they hardly make any difference. They're going to all have 0% explosive resistance and minus 50% and minus 70% explosive resist. So basically, when we want to go do these as fast as possible, we'll have to have as much pure DPS as we can get our hands on. And that's what geckos are good for. They do a lot of pure DPS, and they're also very fast. They're faster than ogres, no, hammerheads, sorry. They go 3k a second. And then also that they have good range as well. So they have 6k optimal range. So they'll be able to hit quicker than a hammerhead will have to get close. Or not hammer. I keep mixing it up because in Ishtar we'll be using ogres. In Anguilla we'll be using hammerheads. But the thermal drones, at least, they'll have to get a bit closer than this Gecko right here, who has a pretty good range. So basically what I'm going to be trying here, long-winded explaining of what I'm going to do right here, but I think it's important to understand my thinking behind this. I'm going to be trying to find an Ephialtes wave to try to test this on, and I'll show you actually how I nowadays try abyss sites or test abyss sites to find a particular spawn. So before I even get started with, I just have to put the right drones in here because I'm missing some drones. So I put some drones in here. I could probably use some extra ones, but I think it's alright. Perhaps we could put another Gecko just in case, like a spare one, like that. And we'll then jump into the T6 Gammas, and then I'll be going through many abyss sites to find the T6 Gammas, and I'll show you how I actually do that, because you can, on the test server, quite easily sort of find spawns with these commands over here. I'll show you how to do that. Just get some filaments real quick. Have we got Cataclysmic? So we'll put 100 Cataclysmic Gammas in this ship over here. I can just fit this to active ship. There we go, fit to active ship. We've got the high grade crystals in. To be honest, what I could have even done if I wanted even more buffer. Now this is just my clone I would use for Gilas, but I could actually put some shield implants in the shield management, I believe it is. If we see here, shield management, because I think this is what gives me some shield capacity bonus. So we could even put this here instead of missile projection. In fact, let's do that. We can put even missile projection. It's not even needed for this. You can take this and just put the shield management, so we get a tiny bit more HP. Okay, so what I will do here is then I'll just undock and go into a safe spot and just launch into the abyss. If it is a very short spawn, I'll just like a rogue drone, for example. I'll just go through that and go to the next wave. If it's not, I'll use this move me command to go to the to a different area of space and just launch a new filament. I was actually recommended a long time ago this by a viewer, so it was really cool of them for doing that. Okay, so basically the way it's going to work here is we're going to have two groups. One is Gecko Group 2, Gecko Group 1, with some Valkyries here assisting these Geckos. So we can then easily split these guys up. So say like, okay, go attack this Ephialtes, this one go attack this Ephialtes. So we can just right click and tell them to. So we don't have to like individually click every single one. It'll be very fiddly right there. I can just see how it feels to just deploy two groups of them like this. So you have two groups here, we'll just engage here like that. And we can just shift F to recall them all like this. Okay, and then we've got some spare drones here. Some medium drones here that are also kind of spare as well. And some lights here that we can have as well if we want to maybe pop some caches or something. These hardly do any extra damage. And some pure explosive drones here. The skin right here was a pretty cool skin gifted to me by friend Ibad Tijori. Appreciate it a lot. Okay, let's jump in here. See if we can find some Ephialtes, and I want to see if we can do it under 6 minutes. Now, an interesting thing to understand is that in the minus 50% and the minus 70% explosive resist, there's not going to be any difference in the completion time of Ephialtes, because they always have 0% explosive resist. Now we're going to just move to a different system because that wave takes really long. Like, not really, I think it'll be fine for us, but like it'll just take a bit of time to complete it. So I just want to, I'll do like this. I just move to a different system here. Now I'll just deploy another filament and see if we can get an Ephialtes room. That's why I'm carrying a lot of filaments here, and you have to just click a few times because it just, since I recently activated it, I think you have to wait a few seconds, like 30 seconds or something. Click, 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 click. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can find Ephialtes here, or if it's a short room. Okay, what we've got here, we can just go grind through this room. This doesn't want to take a whole long time. Go here and get through this. The Rodiva rooms in general, they don't take much time at all. And I can actually use the explosive drones, because I think the explosive drones will be better for these guys, since they have very low explosive resist. It might be better to use Geckos, but I think it will be better to go the way we've got now. So now where's our range on our Quake? 13 kilometers. We need to get a bit closer for this. The heavy drones, they are really nice in terms of their damage, because they have more range than a light drone. So I mean a medium drone. So you'll notice they'll be doing quite a bit more damage earlier. And now I can use our Quake damage. What we've got here, minus 50%, so it's a good for time. Again, I said that it won't make much difference in the Ephialtes. It will actually make no difference, because it'll just make it easier for us in terms of tanking, because we will have more explosive resistance, but Like, that tank is no issue. It'll be no problem at all. The Ephialtes will always have 0% explosive resist. Minus 50%, minus 70%, it'll be the same thing. We could even actually go to that Demon Automatic Specialist, just recall these guys. They're taking a bit of damage. We can take Gecko groups out. Gecko, go out here, Gecko. There we go. Gecko group 1, Gecko group 2. Okay, this guy go for this one, go for this one. Like this. The Geckos, they land fat volleys as well, because they have a bit, like their rate of fire is not that high. But when they land, they give like almost always 1k plus volleys. So it's just fun to see the HP drop pretty drastically. Oh no, Valkyrie taking a bit of damage. Valkyrie taking a bit of damage. It's alright. It's probably stupid that I split them because they've got remote reps, so it'll be a lot more effective when they are going on each other. Oh, we'll recall this one. They're taking a bit of damage. Oh, artillery cannons do quite a bit of damage to these rogue drones because we've got some decent tracking, I think. Can just split them up a bit so that they can all go on an individual target. And artillery cannons really hit hard, actually. They've got decent tracking because this is like the long range weaponry. Like, you could think of long range weaponry like beams. I think even railguns. Not sure about railguns, but at least when it comes to artillery cannons and beams, the short range ammunition has best tracking. It's not the case for the short range weaponry though. The long range weaponry has the best tracking when it comes to the short range ammunition. But when it comes to the short range guns, then their short range ammunition has worse tracking. It's a bit confusing. That's just the way it is. So this was a good time right here. I mean, 2.5 minutes, but again, as I said before, that was not a room that's expected to take a lot of time. That's why I'm bothering to continue here. Come on, do we get Ephialtes here? Do we get Ephialtes? Yes. Oh, wait, this is a Kerberos Tyrannos even. This is a good wave as well. It's not the one we're looking for, but it's still good because the Ephialtes guys, they take a long time to do here. So if we just engage this group here, a bit more like the Gila where you got two groups, just split them up like that. I can just have them destroy the entanglers because the entanglers are going to cause problems when we've got this blue cloud as well pretty close. So we need to destroy these guys fast so that you can see the time here. We finished, what was it now, 3.5 minutes, the first room, so we can do a bit of math on that time afterwards. I can engage this one now. I just want to get closer to Kerberos so we have less likelihood of landing a wrecking shot. We can go a little bit to the side here. Worse than Kerberos tracking. I mean, tank is no issue whatsoever. Have to be a bit careful for these newts over here. We see they're taking big volleys from Kerberos. Yep, there we go. Seems like it's going pretty smoothly. Not too long, I think. Is this... Yes, minus 50% as well, so really good actually demonstration of how good tank is. Because on Ephialtes it will make a difference in 50%. But the thing is, with a Kerberos it will take longer when you got the minus 50% because it will make it actually take quite a bit longer since Kerberos has got quite a bit of explosive resist. So it will actually be better for us to use the explosive drones. So we can make our way towards Kerberos because when we are in the range of Kerberos we will want to be using our artillery cannons on Kerberos. So now I want to go for these guys who are attacking my drones over here. Go for this guy maybe soon. There we go, okay. These guys need to engage this one. Sort of flipping all over the place here. We've got some neuters as well, it's a bit annoying. Oh, deviant automatic suppressor, I hate them so much. Can recall this Valkyrie maybe. Got a bit of problems with the shields over there. Short range one as well. The short range ones are much more potent than the normal ones. The medium ones, I mean. Yeah, I'll have to just move towards this guy over here. Concentration is important here. Or this Valkyrie is taking heavy damage. Gecko here, attack this one. Gecko here, attack this one. Probably shouldn't have moved there because now he's going to have to travel a lot. And we should be shooting more with our artillery cannon as well. Wasting time. Precious time. And these are just the Ephialtes guys. We've not even destroyed Kerberos Tyrannos. Definitely going to have to do this a bit quicker now. But they've almost destroyed all of them. Can just deploy the rest of these Valkyries. Now they've probably wrapped up their shields. Can have these Valkyries engage this one, or maybe this one right here. This one right here. And we should be shooting with our artillery. Yeah, there we go. Gecko group 1, Gecko group 2. Oh, Valkyrie almost dead. Yeah, that Valkyrie's dead. It was that short range deviant automatic suppressor that's chewing them completely to pieces. So very brutal. You can see how they're not even. It's just this one guy who seems to be aggressing them, and even then, it's not that much. We can start shooting with these artillery cannons here. Okay, recall geckos now. We'll deploy explosive drones for this Kerberos Tyrannos over here. Kerberos Tyrannos. There we go. Explosive drones. Oh, he's at the border. What we're going to want to do here is just push Kerberos Tyrannos back to the gate. Let's see now. We did the first one in 3.5 minutes, so 16:30. It's gone now 4.5 minutes. Okay. I guess it's survivable time, 4.5 minutes. So then add 2 minutes. That is like the minimum time needed. This is a worst case scenario in terms of time because we've got full Ephialtes. Those take longer to kill than Scylla Tyrannos because this can sometimes have Scylla Tyrannos cruisers associated with it, and I think they take a bit less time to destroy than the Ephialtes guys. So we're going to just push this guy towards the transfer conduit, and then we'll be just in range to go to the next room after we've completed this. And we'll have our drones just mess this guy up. Can sort of maybe perhaps even keep at range now. 500. This thing here annoys me so much. Perhaps we can go a little bit to the side, push this away from the deviant automatic suppressor, because this is going to be so big problems for my drones actually. Oh, it's time right here. Oh, the time doesn't look actually that great because now we've taken almost 6 minutes. Almost 6 minutes. But Kerberos is also almost dead as well. And Kerberos has a fat shield, so when this shield is down, it'll be bad times for this guy. How far is it away? 25 kilometers. It would have been nice to do this a bit quicker, but I mean, it's not that bad, I guess. You can move towards the transfer conduit now. Yeah, that armor melted fast on this guy. Oh, look, we're even wasting time here. We completed this in 6 minutes and 25 seconds. I guess now 6.5 minutes because of the 6 minutes and 35 seconds now. 6 minutes and this is, if we did this 3 times, we would probably die. Yeah, this time is like exactly the amount that we would probably die. Could have piloted perhaps slightly better. It would have also helped if this stupid thing wasn't here. Doing this 3 times essentially would have killed us in terms of time, but I thought it was still decent time for my first time of trying this and being the worst case scenario. Kerberos Tyrannos in minus 50%. With a full Ephialtes spawn, so no Scylla Tyrannos right there. Scylla Tyrannos would have gone quicker, I think. So full Ephialtes spawn right there. So that was quite good. But we can see here, can we find Ephialtes spawn? We'll just move to a new location. We don't have a spare Valkyrie. Maybe we can have a spare one right here. No. We can just buy stuff perhaps from here. Okay, we can activate the filament now. Minthera. We didn't even activate those boosters. Just shows how powerful the ship is here. But we can even activate these boosters. They cost nothing, like 1.3 million. With the amount of ISK you'll be earning, these last for an hour, that really doesn't mean anything. And you get, like, I think 9% extra tank. So that's really significant amount of increase in tank for that little price right there. It's really good to use those boosters. So glad the CCP made them pretty cheap. So I added some spare medium ones here. So in case they die, we can always replace them. I doubt we'll lose the geckos right here. This doesn't seem like such a good wave. Move me to FDMLJ. Not this one. I don't want this wave. You can see here that when we come back here, the Abyssal Trace is still here. But we can actually just go to one of these safes I've got here. I maybe perhaps should have put an Augmented Valkyrie, but I feel like these guys are going to die pretty quickly, but Augmented Valkyrie would be nice because they will have more DPS unlike the Valkyrie 2s. Okay, now we've got Ephialtes wave. Perfect. Okay, this seems to also be almost a full one with just 3 Scylla Tyrannos. This will be a good representation of time, I think. The Dissipators first, deploy drones straight away, and have them split up. And we'll just go straight in, away from this Deviant Automatic Suppressor who always has to find its way into everything. I can just move a little bit to the side, I think, and we'll be alright. Let's lock up these Dissipators, because then we can, after the Dissipators, we just focus on everything that's aggroing my drones, because anything that's aggroing my drones will make stuff go slower. Also, these Confusers actually will be giving problems for my drones as well. Not my drones, I mean my turrets. So I'll be doing less damage with this. Can even have this guy attack this one. Maybe have this group go on here, because these geckos are best for Ephialtes, not for Scylla Tyrannos. So I'll just have them. Oh, look at that, all that drone aggro right there. This is perfect. This is the first wave as well, so get an idea of time here. What is our range? 11 fall off. So we can get some hits in. Ah, look at that drone aggro right there. Pretty annoying. Lock up all these guys. They're providing some stress for my drones. Can recall these Valkyries right here. Gecko fight here. Gecko fight here. Then we take some of these extra Valkyries out here. And have them help this Gecko. Can lock up these ones. We almost destroyed that Scylla Tyrannos over there actually. That's nice. With our artillery cannon. Slowly but surely we're getting through that guy. Recall these guys and deploy the Gecko groups. It's a lot easier to group them, I think. Yeah, this was the one where we're going to go Lex with our artillery cannon. Hopefully we can go through this one before reload. Maybe? Yeah, there we go, good. Now you reload this. Go for Scylla Tyrannos. Scylla Tyrannos seems to be orbiting us a little bit closer. Where's our... Oh, minus 50% as well, so it'll make the Scyllas go a little bit slower. So it'll be a good representation of that. Can move towards the transfer conduit as well. See what time we get. We should be shooting actually. Looks like it's going quite good, considering how few there are left on grid. I think it's actually going quite good. Just focus on all the ones that are aggroing my drones. Don't want to get aggro, that's all. This damn is this a tracking pylon? Okay, that's alright. These stupid Deviant Automatic Suppressors are causing problems with my drones. Oh, these got a volley right there. The geckos, they land fat volleys. Can have the drones focus on this tangle over here. Can then split them up a bit more now. Group go for this one. Seems like time is really good. Look at that. Time is amazing actually. Go for this one now. Time is actually really damn good. Look at that. A lot better than I thought. That Kerberos Tyrannos wave took a long time, longer. It was this one that is actually going pretty fast. Seems like we did quite good here. I wonder if this tracking pylon is maybe boosting our drones, maybe helping them apply better. That could be something that's going on. Or maybe just helping the artillery hit a bit better. But still, they are cruisers. It's not like we'll have problems with tracking here. We also get a really good bonus of tracking in general from these drones. Like the whole bonus of the Ishtar as well. I'm trying to move ourselves out of the Deviant Automatic Suppressor so we're sort of stationary in a region that's kind of safe for our drones. But look at that, the time is really good. A lot better than I thought. As long as you're concentrated, it'll be alright, it seems like, actually, in the T6 Gamma, so I'm pretty happy about this. Like, I think that you can't get a full Ephialtes spawn. You'll always get at least 2 of these Scylla Tyrannos, because I've always encountered, or at least the always I can remember in T6 is at least finding like 2 of them. There's almost full, but then 2 of them like this. So this looks pretty damn good actually. Let's go to the transfer conduit. See, we'll go here 5 minutes and 15 seconds. So that's still a safe time. Still a safe time. We've got here Obfuscator. And these guys are going to go down any second as well. So there we go. It's done now. Can we do it before 6 minutes? That would be nice if we can do that. Come on, we can do it before 6 minutes. There we go. Yeah, we did it before 6 minutes. That's great. Great. In a minus 50% as well. So I think challenge completed, Challenge completed with the Ephialtes room. Challenge completed indeed. Alright, so there we go. Did some testing in this Ishtar. It was great. I was a bit disappointed in the Kerberos Tyrannos room. But otherwise, this Ephialtes one we did right here went really well. A lot better than I thought. It would have probably been better as well if there were no stupid deviant automatic suppressors. I mean, you can't assume that they're not going to be there, but, you know, they can also not be there. So I think that this is a good argument for the Ishtar being a very good T6 running ship, and this is definitely faster than I can get a Gila to do the Ephialtes room at least. Usually in the Ephialtes room in the Gila I complete these quite a bit slower, 7 minutes in fact. So hope you guys enjoyed this video right here. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.